What?
Hi everybody.
Hey,
it's Miss. No, wait, sorry.
Let's go again.
Shush. Hi everybody. Piss off. Rebecca.
Act 1, Scene 2.
I know you've been wondering where we've been, but we're back. If you don't remember me, I'm Nis.
I'm Bex.
I'm Abs.
And this is
Lolade. If you remember this face, you get 10 points because she was in one of our first ever episodes.
How could they forget?
Yeah.
And now she's Lolade.
Yeah.
We love you, Lolade. Oh, darling.
And you know what? Forget the episodes for a second. Like, we've been friends for over 10. Well, I've been friends with you for over 10 years.
Me and Marissa over 15.
I think 10.
10,
College.
yeah.
And it felt right that she was, we'll get into all of our stuff, but it felt right her being part of this. She'd been to a lot of filming anyway and been involved in a lot of things. But yeah, it just felt right. And it's a new year and we're coming with new energy, everything. So
Vibes.
yeah.
Yeah, Lolade, you can tell everyone just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am these guys' long friend.
Malung.
Lola, let's not
Loosen
up,
up, girl.
She is definitely Malung friend. She long, she timing. No, he was actually on time today.
She has.
I'm getting better. I'm doing better this year, guys. But yeah, I'm Lolade. I am Down to Mars's good friend. Been around, still around, gonna be around.
Yes.
Hattie.
I'm very excited actually to be starting this podcast with you guys. I've obviously been on here before.
Yeah.
If you remember speaking about very different topics. We'll get into that.
No shade.
Not yet.
But yeah, I'm excited and hope you guys stay tuned in with us. But yeah.
And what do you think you're gonna bring to? What do you think you're gonna bring?
Already,
different?
love. What I'm
Wow.
No, I'm
Still over
joking.
there.
Just a new surprise. No, but just an additional energy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of me, which you lot will find out about as time goes on, but just as an additional energy. You know, already doing your thing, so it'll be good. Good little addition.
Yeah.
So if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would you say? Just to give
No pressure, darling.
listeners- hey.
Oh, life of the party.
Okay.
That's actually a very good question.
Come on.
Funny. I'm very funny.
You are the funniest out of us all,
the
I must
funniest.
say.
Abby.
Actually,
some-
Lola
Yeah.
trumps all of you. I'm not gonna lie. She does.
She said what she
Sorry.
said.
Kiss an ass.
I mean, don't come crying to me. Yeah, it's all right. That's it, girl.
Lay your bed. Lay your bed up.
And
I told Lolade to be funny. She wasn't funny.
guys,
It's fake.
Cut the camera.
Cut
Take
the-
me off.
No, seriously, don't listen to her. Rebecca. I taught her a lot from college. You know, she'll tell you about. You lot will
That's
come to
good.
see.
That's
People
good.
who know us from, I'm not going to say our second college, but people who know us, they'll tell you that Rebecca learned a lot from me.
Why can't you say our
Still
college? We've
learning.
said our college on here before.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, people who know me from Massive X, they know that I'm one of the funniest. But
Whoa.
you lot will see that. You're not going to see that. But life of the party, funny, and I would say like loyal.
Okay, bitch.
That's a good little entryway actually, because I feel like to give people a taste of where we're coming from and like an idea, I guess we can share some of our experiences maybe that brought us to this point here.
100%.
So I'll start. I met Lolade when we were in school.
Yeah.
I'd moved to her school. I'd moved to Harris, and we were how old? Oh, I was 13 or 14. Was I 14?
If you were 14.
14. I was 14. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So the liquor shot, dude. The liquor shot, dude.
Yeah.
How you know that?
I was basically bald, and my hair was actually bright blonde as well. Like
It was crazy.
It was like bald and blonde.
Yeah, but she set a little trend though, because certain girl had actually.
Just like copying.
What can I say? I'm joking. But yeah, I joined Harris. I didn't know Lolade at the time, but I knew like I had other friends that were friends with Lolade, so they was giving her the little, the good word kind of like, and I was still bit, I'm not sure about this one, I'll be honest, yeah.
I actually got asked to look after her, so I had to kind of.
Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Seriously.
Listen, okay, she started lying already. It's crazy, but cool. But yeah, then she took me. I guess she did take me under. I didn't need to be taken under a wing, but it was just like, alright, cool. Like I'll add a little something to your vibe.
It was more the hair she gave me.
And we would spend a lot of our time fighting on the field, as you would, like a lot. That was what we.
That's very our brand.
I Really,
like,
she really changed the dynamics. Athletic girl.
I'm gonna crop that out because
You'd be play fighting.
wow, I was fighting.
I don't even remember that.
Lolade would be dancing to Idonia.
You know what? I'll give her that.
And the girls got Jamisha, you got Danique,
Oh,
the Ashleys. There was a lot going on.
the Ambers. Oh my gosh. Wow.
But yeah, that was where our friendship started. And then since then, I'd say we've been through a lot, you know. She had a little hiatus from the group, from the bars, which we've discussed on previous episodes.
Cut the camera.
Take me off.
But she knew that we were the right bunch,
Yeah.
you know. And I think it's good because even just not just us that are here, but in terms of like our friends and our sisterhood, I think we're in a very, very good place. We have a really strong
100%.
friendship.
Yeah.
We have a friendship that's built, I'd say, on like trust, loyalty, and understanding, faith. Like we pray together, we get lit together. We, you know, and it's only right that we can do things like this together. So yeah, I'm really happy to have you on board. You know, I'm excited to see what you bring to the show.
I think she'll bring a good little, you know,
Her little twang.
yeah,
Like when we first started Down to Mars, the essence of it was to really focus on like our friendship and our sisterhood. Because the truth of the matter is, it's a very unique thing. And like I see a lot of groups of girls. I know a lot of girls, but I don't think there's one group that's similar to us in that we the length of time and just
beat it.
them cannot beat it. So I feel like having you here is almost like a full circle moment for what when we first started, what we set out to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
do you remember? Oh wait, no, that is the episode that she was on. Sorry, I was thinking that is the episode that she was
What
on
was
when
you
we
gonna
was
say?
in
Episode, innit?
that
Guap Studios.
Guap Studios.
Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like one of our like first moments. So
It was.
you know, yeah, it does feel right. And I mean, like I've known you since college. We was we in the same form?
No, we wasn't
No.
in the same sociology.
Drama,
class.
sociology and drama. Lola was actually Shitsy Spitsy. What was she was a donkey in one of our she was a donkey in one of our performances, but I knew that she had more potential than being a donkey.
She was.
No, but we met, and you know what?
This is not shame, Lolade. Welcome to shame, Lolade.
No. But do you know what? I'll tell you this. I remember I had a moment in drama. I did drama because I thought it was going to be like a light-hearted, fun little topic. And then
Let me know.
I didn't realize that they was going to get me to do a monologue. And I cried. I don't know why I cried. I actually was like starstruck. I pulled.
She actually froze. She froze like.
Me and her literally looked at each other like, no, she must be FF. No, BFFR.
And I stormed out of the class. Is that right?
You actually
I
did.
stormed out of the class.
Did you actually do that exam? Did you?
I didn't do
it in
that. I quit
private.
drama. I think I was actually kicked out of
No,
drama
but then you
after
did it
that.
private with her.
Did I?
No, I don't
don't
know
think
what
I
you done,
did.
but that moment there was just
She
like, yeah.
was like, yeah, and then
Classic.
Lola met me in the canteen and gave me a good talking to, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, listen, I ain't looking for a life coach, darling, but thank you very much.
You've come a long way, Abs.
I have, because I was really shy, guys.
Yeah, look at you now.
Now sitting on the podcast,
Hold
you know?
shit.
But yeah, we've been friends for a very long time,
Yeah.
and yeah, I would say we've been through a fair share amount, but we've always. I actually, the mad thing is, when we kind of like all had a bit of like a distance or whatever, I went to church one Sunday, and it was, I honestly think, and I don't know if anyone who's watching this, well, obviously people would have their own beliefs, whatever, but I believe that this was actually God leading her back into my life,
100%.
because
Yeah.
I walked into church, and I remember thinking, that's Lola, and she
Yeah.
was sitting there with her daughter,
Yeah.
and I went over to her, and it was just like, I hadn't seen her in years.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it had been.
I think
Maybe
it
like
must have been about
2-3 years.
Would have had
Probably
to
a
be.
couple years. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. Like we had left each other as like
Yeah.
young adults, like almost teens or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And we met each other again as adults, and it was so mad. And I said to her, like, we need to sort this out.
Yeah.
Like I remember saying in church, the service is running, and I was like, we need to sort this out with everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, let's get together. And then I think I don't know, I can't remember the ins and outs, but I think from there we kind of like rekindled. And I feel like that was definitely God led.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Like,
was
it had
such
to be.
a profound moment, because I never would have expected to see you there.
No, I wouldn't have expected to see you.
And
Like
when I saw you, it was just like, wow. Like
I actually, it was like the room was empty.
Yeah,
it felt like
yeah,
the
yeah,
room
yeah.
was empty, and I just
Yeah.
saw you, and I was just like,
100%.
and then I saw, I don't want to say her name because I don't want me to say her name,
yeah,
but I saw your
goodness.
daughter on,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I can't believe I've never met her before, because
Yeah.
I wasn't there for your pregnancy or
Yeah,
whatever. So
100%.
it was just mad. It was mad, but
I thank God for that day, actually.
Definitely,
I don't think
because
I
I
had
didn't.
not even the courage, because I'm quite courageous, but I wouldn't have had the boldness to reach out anytime soon, because I think it was almost like a, how do I even start? Where do we even start? Because we never ended on bad terms.
No.
It was just kind of
It's kind of daunting, isn't it?
yeah, like, okay, I'm doing this, guys, and there was not really any proper explanation.
There was so many unanswered questions. I feel
100%,
like.
yeah, and
Definitely.
so when I saw Abby, was just like, oh my gosh, this is the
It was like the
moment. This is
doorway
it. This
to
is
like
the door-
sort things out.
Yeah, and I remember, Rebecca, you had come to my house
Whilst she was pregnant.
whilst I was pregnant, and even then
Because we was pregnant at the same time.
at the same time,
Like
due
literally.
a week. Same. I was
We was due on the same day. No, we was due both on the
Same day.
That's
Fifth.
so
We was due
crazy.
on the same day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you came, even then, it was still like, "Ugh, I'm not ready, but how do I go about this? And then when I saw you in church, I was like, yeah, God was intentional about that, because there's how many services in that? There's 2 services
I
in
think
one.
3. There was
even
2
3.
morning and 1 evening.
100%.
So for us to come to the same time, and I think
Yeah.
I was actually quite new to going to church at that point as well.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't a regular, you know, goer.
goer,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
God just put you there.
Yeah.
literally, and I just walked in and I saw her straight away.
Yeah.
And I was like contemplating. I thought, no, go and talk to her.
Yeah.
And I came over, and it was just like, it was so I can even like imagine it in my head now.
I remember what
Yeah.
Little Miss was wearing. I remember what I was wearing. I remember seeing
Yeah.
and thinking, wow, like, okay, she's coming over here. She's
I'm coming to
actually
party.
Whoa, Lola, come here.
But what was that process like for you? Like because obviously it was essentially not like you versus us, but
Yeah.
our friendship kind of stayed the same in those
Yeah.
years, innit? And obviously maybe we had like different additions to the group. We had different experiences. So what was it like for you re-entering like our friendship group?
Do you know what's so funny? At first, it was like, oh my gosh, okay, my friends, like, these are my friends. But I kid you not, like, it didn't feel any different.
No.
It just felt different because there was additional people in the group. So it was
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah,
the group's
yeah.
got bigger.
Yeah.
But it just felt like this is like home. But it was weird kind of getting back into logistics of things, seeing family members that obviously we've always kind of had family members involved. Like everyone's became one almost.
Close
So
knit. Yeah.
coming into like certain family functions, it's just like, oh yeah.
Wow, she's
I'm back.
Hello
everyone.
Literally, it was a moment, but no, coming back and was just like, yeah, this just felt right. Like, it was like, these are my people. These
It's
are my
funny,
friends.
sorry, because just a little side note, Jamisha's here with us today. Yeah, our friend Jamisha's here with us. We're filming. Yeah.
Flip the
And-
cameras.
And I remember at the time, obviously, we had all had like different conversations with Lola.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was at my house, and Jamisha was there, and you'd come. I don't know. I hadn't necessarily given. I don't think I'd given. Had I given you a heads up? No, I hadn't. No. So Jamisha, Lolade had come, and obviously she's not expecting to see Lolade there, innit? Because Lolade said she might come, but then she ended up
I thought
coming.
it was a
innit?
bit of an ambush, but I was thinking,
Oh, girl, bye, girl. You wanted to come. You wanted to come.
I did, no,
like,
truthfully,
because
truthfully.
after having that much time away, you have to. I think you just have to like.
Face
Go
it
for
head
it.
on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
whatever you're gonna deal with, you're gonna deal with,
Yeah,
innit? So she came, and I remember after I had to have a conversation with Jamisha, because I think Lolade could pick up like Jamisha's, because Jamisha was still like raw, like where you been? Yeah, like you just come in like everything's all gushy, like what?
Yeah.
But it was interesting to navigate that, because in time and just through like spending time together and reasoning with each other, because we had to reason in it. It was
100%.
but I think our way of dealing with it, we kind of just we laughed about it.
we laughed about it for some time.
We did, innit? Like
I
it was
Laugh
just
about it now.
yeah, it's like a running
I had to
joke.
hold it, by the way, guys. I had to hold it.
I
The
was
jokes
so
were-
vexed with you. I wasn't
I
like
know,
when these were like, oh yeah, I respect, but I was not having it. I was
And I felt
that to
that's-
Lolade.
if anyone moved mad, Rebecca.
I had to
you
move
know,
mad
like,
because I was
don't just
vexed.
come back here. But
I
I
was
knew
vexed.
she missed me, but I knew at the same time I was just like,
You know
Nah,
what?
bro,
Yeah.
you fucked up.
It
like,
wasn't even. Do you know what? It wasn't
do
even
that.
so much like I was upset or like I was vexed a bit, but I was just like, fam, all these years,
no.
Yeah.
all these moments, and you
Yes.
made me miss your daughter's
I know.
beginning of her life.
I
Like
know, I'm
I feel emotional thinking about it because I'm like, it was a time.
I know. And
But you know, and then people was even saying to me, they was messaging me, they was like, no, you need to chat to Lolade. You need to chat. I'm thinking, stop being a cow. Stop being a
No,
cow.
what people like, so what happened with you and Lola? Like, it's none of your business. Yeah, first
I
of
was like, you
all.
need to chat to Lolade. I'm not chatting to Lolade. I ain't chatting to Lolade.
and it's so mad because it was never bad blood, but it was just like
No.
just an uneasy kind of like just
Yeah, because prior to us stop talking, I feel like we spent a lot of time together, like
every day,
every single day,
We did.
every single day. So
Solid.
when that person is like removed from your life so quickly, like with no real explanation, it's like.
It was mad.
weird, yeah.
And as you said, like, it wasn't just us, like, it was our family.
Yeah.
Like, we were involved friends. It wasn't just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's my friend that I go
Yeah.
parties with, or that's my friend that I go, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We had,
100%.
and we had been through
so
some
much.
mad things, you know, like, and there's times in my life where, like, and my mum always reminds me of this. When my dad passed away, you were the first one of my friends that would like came to the front door. And I remember that so vividly. And at that time, we had only been friends for probably like 5-6 months. Like, it wasn't, do you know what I mean? But that just goes to show your character and the kind of person that you was at that time. So yeah, and those are things that they stick in your mind. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that was what it was. Coming back was just like, where do I even start? Because like I said, there was no reason for us to not talk, but I was just like, it's been so long now. What do you go back with? About like how have you been? Like, or how's your son? Or how's things going? How's your mum and dad? What do you say? Kind of thing. So I think for me, it was like, just take some time, just you two gather yourself, and then when the time was right, and it happened to be so right when I saw you that day, it's just like, okay, cool. The moment is now. Like,
because I can't even remember our first, and I can't remember.
I think we spoke on the phone.
Did we?
I'm sure we spoke on the phone.
I don't remember.
I don't
I
remember.
don't remember.
I just remember me and you went to Nando's.
Dutchies. No, Dutchies.
Oh, it was Dutchies.
Yeah, it was
No, it
Dutchies.
wasn't.
No, I think it was Dutchies.
Or maybe it was Dutchies. Anyway, we went
somewhere.
Yeah.
with our children,
Yeah, it was Dutchies. Definitely Dutchies. I remember.
and our children just
Clicked.
ever since,
And
like,
they've been
Mad.
inseparable.
Yeah, literally.
and that's so crazy because it's like, how, like, where you don't know each other,
Yeah.
like,
It was so
But they
instinct.
just know, innit? Kids just know.
100%,
Like,
yeah.
they pick up
Same
on the
vibe.
Yeah.
So-
besties.
It's mad. And do you know what? Like, over the years, I haven't fallen out with loads of people, but I've had like friends that I've
mix up, get
no,
luck
no,
off.
and-
not like
Yeah,
that.
no, it's
Like
real, it's
I've
real.
I've had friends that I've fallen out with, not loads, like I'd say a couple, but I've never gone back. I've actually never spoken to them again. Like, it's actually been like, that's it.
And then you don't miss them as well.
No,
That's
like,
the
you don't
thing.
feel like anything's missing from your life.
You feel calm.
It's just
You
like,
can just
okay.
move on. Yeah. So I feel like these things, when you fall out with friends, like, it's very much like it could be like we may never speak again.
Yeah.
And that's actually deep when you really think about it. Like, people going off, having children, starting their life, like,
yeah.
you know, like, you will never have that. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's mad, really.
I think it's a true test of friendship though, because
Yeah.
I always
What, to be able to like get back?
yeah, and like I said, nothing ended nasty. But it was
No.
just,
and I think I always did miss you.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, low key, I like your presence was definitely missed, like in the group sense, but just on an individual basis as well. And I think we can all like relate to having that feeling of like, nah, you know. And I used to think about it like, bro, I wonder what Lolade's on.
Bro,
Yeah.
especially when I fell pregnant and going through everything I went through where I was. Yeah.
Why are you being indirect?
I
Like,
don't know, I don't want to talk about
You
it.
was just on a journey, innit?
On that journey, it was just like, wow, like I don't have my bedrooms, and I was so grateful. I had my family were very supportive. I had Elena around who was very supportive, but not having my core friends was just like, it was new. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, I have no one to like cry to if I want.
And as a young Jamaican woman, you need.
Very, very cool. But seriously, not having
lies to the people, man.
and because everyone was intertwined, it was just like, bro, like they're not around. Like baby shower, like, there's a lot of people around, but there weren't people around.
Yeah.
And I'm not no disrespect, but it was like my people weren't there.
And I feel like even after you had your daughter, I think you guys went to see.
I was just gonna
And
say.
I couldn't go because I was literally.
Did I come to see?
No,
I don't remember.
I think it was me, Amber, and Mary. Or
Yeah.
Jamisha, did you come?
Jamisha.
Jamisha. And Mary was there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that day, like, because it was weird, because to go from being so close with someone,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
being there for the important moments, celebrating together, going through the highs, the lows.
Yeah, 100.
And then to obviously, when your friend has a baby, that's such a
huge moment.
life-changing moment.
Especially at
Yeah,
that age,
like,
because
yeah.
we need to underscore, like, we was
We
young.
were still young.
We
yeah,
weren't even
yeah.
like big people. Like now,
Yeah,
it's like it's a bit
it's
different.
a little bit more like, okay,
It's different,
yeah,
but that
was-
age,
it was different. So for us to go there, and then I remember leaving and just thinking like,
Rough.
This
That
feels
was
weird.
so awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
like it wasn't. I felt like I shouldn't. Not to say I shouldn't be there,
Yeah.
but it was like, am I supposed to be here? Like, do you know what I mean?
And that
Like,
was
it wasn't
what does
like
this
how
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
like because it's not like I can be there and just be like holding her. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I don't know.
And
It was just
and that's interesting because even when you guys came, it was so surreal.
yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, the hair, like in my room. Like even when my mum came, she's like, your friends came, and I was like, yeah, mum, they were here. Like, and it was just so like, were they actually here?
Yeah.
But even then, that moment was just like, I couldn't really rap with you guys because it just like, it was still just like they come through.
Yeah,
for me, but it was like,
but
vibes,
it was
have a-
that it was like there was like a screen or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
we were there, but
Yeah.
we weren't really there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, we were really
Mad
there.
moment.
You wasn't really there.
I was.
No, I'm joking.
I'll give it that one.
But no, I think that's a story to tell in it because
Yeah.
it's made our
real.
friendship
100.
stronger. I would say.
I feel like that's a good undertone of the friendship. I feel like we've so far, even from that, like we have really grown through everything we've gone through and managed to. I think this is the difference. Even earlier when I'm saying about other friendship groups I see, the difference is I feel like we have managed to pull ourselves out of, you know, like the deepest, darkest bits of
Yeah.
friendship,
100%,
the ugly
100%.
bits. Do you know what I mean? Like the
100%.
peaks and troughs, as they
Yeah.
say. We've been able to pull ourselves out of that.
Definitely.
Even when it's
that's what
uncomfortable as
makes
well.
it stand the test of time.
100%.
Because I don't see us getting to a place where we will never speak or we will.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
We
I,
pray.
Do you know what though? I feel like we've unlocked that thing where it's like when something's mad uncomfortable or there's an issue, we can say it.
yeah.
There's not like we don't dance around.
We've
Like
all-
Yeah.
we've all, like,
Or
had to
if
do that.
even if there's like, what's good is if there's something, because obviously it's quite a large friendship.
It is,
group,
it is.
Like, and I think it's not common by this age. A lot of people have kind of dropped off, and
Yeah.
people tend to kind of have this. They're like maybe they're one or two close friends,
Yeah.
whereas we've got a close friendship. Obviously, everyone has their different relationships, and bonds in different ways, things that they can connect over. But in general, we're all close.
Yeah.
And I think even if two people might have a little disagreement or there might be a different vibe, there's somebody else in the group that is like, that's on a level to know like, no, that's, do
100%.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
what's going on here? Like, and is able to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice. I think it's nice.
And
It is nice.
And it's more interesting because I think over time as well, we've got to a place now whereas even when there is an issue, it's laughable.
I don't even feel like we have
correctable.
issues
And
like
that's-
that.
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
It's
No.
just more of a like.
But sometimes, you know, it might be like someone says something and someone might take it the wrong
Okay,
way.
yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I
things like
mean?
that,
Or
yeah.
someone might, I don't know, someone might not be able to make an event and someone might feel a way about, like, do you know what I mean?
Like when Abby cancelled her birthday.
I'm not gonna lie.
That Abby's speciality.
Let me tell you something. I'm the
Baby number
volatile
one.
friend.
Okay. Just place now, by the way.
I just rang Abby. I said, Abby, look, girl, okay,
You
you
know
gotta
what?
bring
I
it
don't
down.
know if maybe my hormones are still regulated after childbirth. But
Abby, that's just you, and it's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
Like,
but you know what?
that is just you.
I
girl.
think I am, and I think I
It's you.
respect that my friends understand me. And like
You're a
Rebecca
sensitive
said,
soul.
Rebecca called me and was like, "We are going out for your birthday."
Yeah, very
So
nice.
I had to go and rebook it. But it was funny because everyone came at me with a different angle. Jamisha was like, "Babes, I understand. I get it. It's a
leave
lot.
the house.
Like, but we have to do something." Narissa was just like,
No, sorry.
Lola was like-
I had these two calling me like, you better call Abby. You better call. I was thinking, what did I do?
you were-
I didn't do
you
anything
It was
wrong.
Narissa's
What's the
fault.
bit?
It
Let's
was
talk about
Narissa's
bits.
fault. Narissa tipped me over the edge.
your
Lola
best
had
stuff.
tipped me over the edge the day before. Then Narissa went and pushed me over.
So what?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why? What? What did I do?
You said that the cab was, I'm not getting cab. I was like, oh my gosh. You know how hard it is to get us all together?
Oh my
And then
God.
this one wanted to say on my birthday, guys, there's another event that I think is going to be better.
No. But Abby, don't you think you was a little bit like that?
Over
Like your reaction
dramatic.
was a little.
Maybe I was, but next year I'm going to tell you what you're going to do for your birthday. And I'm going to tell you that the cab's too expensive. I'm not coming.
No.
I can be petty. I will do it. It's fine.
Betty Queen. Okay.
Please.
I was just trying
No,
to, you know.
but it was, I was okay after a week. I just needed my time to cool off.
Yeah, I think
And
the
you
rough-
ended up enjoying your birthday.
Yeah, and look, now we
Was
can
that
laugh
fun?
about it. We can
No,
literally
yeah.
sit up and laugh about it. Like,
But I know in the
crazy.
time, they were all
I
like,
was not laughing.
What the hell is
wrong with
I was like, whatever. She's gonna come around. Like she's being
Oh, and to
dramatic.
make it, I actually left the group chat.
And
Oh,
she,
yeah,
actually,
she did.
she actually called.
No, she left the
venue
group chat
and
twice, didn't
cancelled.
she?
Yeah, I
the
cancelled
booking.
I tell you that.
Yeah, she cancelled the
Yeah.
booking.
I couldn't believe
I
it.
was like, no way did this girl actually
I
cancel
couldn't
the booking.
believe it. That's when I knew. Yeah, this.
I was
the
Take it
higher
far.
To
vibe.
be fair though, that aside, maybe I hadn't there was a lot going on in my personal life at that moment, which I hadn't communicated with my friends.
Yeah.
So I think I'm an emotional person. I'm not gonna shy away from that. But I think there was underlying other stuff, like a lot was going on, and I was a bit
yeah.
overwhelmed. So I just thought, oh, I can't be bothered with this.
I definitely allowed
took
you
it-
because of that. I was thinking, okay, like, you know, you're under some pressure. You have to
But you get what I mean? Yeah.
But that's what it's about, though. I think after so many years, like,
knowing each other.
and in a friendship,
Yeah.
you tend to, like your friends' do's, their don'ts. You know what, like, they might react over.
Yeah.
Like, you know
get-
their
yeah,
limits.
yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes we push each other's limits because
Yeah,
that's...
Narissa.
Sorry?
Always pushing
Sorry?
buttons, taking too far.
Sorry?
Stay, man.
I do
Girls,
what I says,
stay,
okay?
Bad girl in this for real.
I do what I said.
But no, it's a beautiful thing to be able to go low, go high,
Yeah.
and nothing. Like, there's no malice. There's no feelings. held.
Always love.
Yeah.
And for us to all be so unique in our own way and it's still to work. Like, I don't think any of us are like madly similar.
Yeah.
Do you get, obviously we have similar, obviously we're doing a podcast, so there's similarities in that sense. But
yeah.
personality wise, I think we're all so different.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and we can have conversations with each other that will be very different. Like how I will have conversations with you or you or
Yeah.
you. It's probably different to how you all conversate with each other. Because
Yeah.
do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think that's a good starting point to say like what we will bring, I guess. Now that we're in this new stage of life, so much has happened since we last saw us. Like, yeah,
It's been mad. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got new perspectives to bring.
I'm a mum now. So
Abby's a mom.
you know, this is different.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know I look pregnant right now, but I'm not.
And how has motherhood been so far?
I love it. Honestly, like, do you know what's mad? And I think it's like, no one can prepare you for it,
Yeah.
but it's like your journey continues every day. Like, I've never like known anything like it, like in terms of like the love that you have for your child, the lengths that you will go to, the things you'll do for them. But I feel like every day I wake up, it just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies.
100%.
And I think as your child grows, it's so bittersweet.
Yeah.
Like, I love seeing my daughter grow, but I'm also sad because it's like, oh, she's changing again, or she's doing this again. And I just think, I maybe because I'm an emotional person as it is, like, I find myself sometimes like just a bit down because it's like, my daughter's gonna be one. Like, in the next month, she's gonna be one. And I'm like, where's
You're gonna
time?
be on the floor crying.
At her birthday party, I'm definitely gonna. I don't think I'll be able to do a speech. Like, I definitely don't. I'm joking. I'll have to pull it together. But no, I love it. It's the best, and we're just so connected.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's very much like me. Well, she's a bit more. She's got more of her dad's personality, but
Attitude girl.
But you've taken to motherhood like a fish in water.
Yeah.
do you
It's
think?
been really nice
Yeah.
seeing you come
Yeah.
into your role as a mom. Like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like you're your best version of yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
100%.
That's such a nice like.
And everyone can see it as well.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you're
not
just,
to go too much into your personal life, but even just like your unit, I feel like
Yeah.
the your person.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well
everything.
suited.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's
right.
mad. Like, I was having this conversation with a client the other day, and I was like, I feel like being with him has helped me improve aspects of my life that maybe I didn't even realize I needed to improve.
100%.
Like, I was so like, I don't want to tell everyone I'm not on a counselling lesson, you know what I mean? But like, there was
Let it out.
But you know when it's like restoring like security in me,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was insecure to some degree, but now I feel so much more confident.
Yeah,
Even like
definitely.
I'm less like aggy, like things don't bother me as much because he's so nonchalant. So being
Yeah.
around him, I pick up those traits and stuff, and I think it's healthy. It's
Yeah.
nice, and I like even that like in your relationship, seeing your partner parent, like that's such a nice thing. You know what I mean? Like it's a journey together, and I think we're doing quite an amazing job.
Yeah.
And
Wow, you
yeah,
are.
Yes.
no, I'm happy. So
Round of applause.
thank you guys. And obviously I've had the support of my friends as well. Like I've confided in each and every one of you,
Yeah.
and Jams, you know, I've confided in each and every one of you, because there's been things obviously like, you know, like anyone that's had a child, like it's such a mad experience. So I've had to lean on my friends. I remember one time, how old would my daughter have been? I think maybe like a month or something, and me and Rebecca was meant to meet to go for coffee, and I called her and I started crying. I was getting a bit overwhelmed, and that's me on a normal day, but when you've just had a baby, like
it's times 10.
and Rebecca was just like, Abs, don't worry, we'll do it next week. Like I know it's a lot because like for me, like getting myself ready, trying to get my baby ready. And I'm like, she's just pooed through her outfit. Oh my gosh, everything was just going wrong that day. It was just crazy. And I think your first like few months of motherhood, you are learning and having, and then what she then did the week after when she did come, she came to me and she's like, let's not even go out. Like, let me just come to you. We'll have lunch. We can Uber, get some from Uber Eats. It was just so, and you know, like, I think other mothers and stuff sometimes just get it and it's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So it's good having friends that you can just lean on and stuff. And when you guys have your next babies, you'll have me. So no, but yeah. So what else has changed for everyone else then? You know, what's been happening, guys?
Well, same old for me. Not much has changed. I still don't have any kids, guys. So I'm still here to give the perspective of the childless woman. Okay, childless.
You have many
I'm still
children
a
in your life.
You
No,
do.
oh, yeah, no,
So
I do.
I'm
basically a mum.
I feel like I am essentially, you know, but I'm able to, the children that I have, I'm able to give them back. So
Yeah.
and we're still at that, like, you know, it might look a little bit suspect right now, but we're not pregnant and we're not expecting. Okay, so.
I'm still one child up, but I'm engaged. I don't know if he lost his so yeah, it's just a different time in life for me actually, because I feel like I'm preparing to be a wife, which is at first when you think about getting married, you don't really deep like being a wife is actually quite a big
deal.
Yeah, like a big road
deal, honey.
Like it's a real lane switch. I'm like, okay. Yeah, so I feel like just preparing for that and trying to just grasp what that actually means. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in an emotional way, in a spiritual way, like in a practical way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to get my ducks in a row for that. So I think, being a fiance has been one of the major things in the past, I think like 3 months. 4 months now.
It feels like it's been longer than that, but
It does, but no, October. So this is about
3 months.
Wifey rhythm.
yeah. So wait me. But also as well, like I don't think before I got engaged, I thought about what kind of wedding I wanted to have.
Really?
I've been thinking.
No.
I'm joking.
I don't know what I thought in my mind, but I just thought maybe like, like when I get engaged, like, I'll
You'll
know.
Yeah.
So I'm going through the motions now of like, what wedding do I want? Because
we didn't have like a Pinterest board and like.
I'm not that girl.
No,
baby.
you're not that girl.
No, baby. Like,
Times right, times
no,
right.
literally, like even like my engagement ring, I never.
So you didn't show him that you liked this? That
He got it right.
That's
got
a
it.
nice. That's
He
a
got
lovely
it
ring.
right.
They know.
Yeah, like I think between him and his friend, who's the jeweler, they kind of just went through like different settings
That's
and,
lovely,
and then decided on one. But I do like my ring.
It
I
fits.
will in a few years be back for a new one. So you know me. But yeah, so I'm just trying to enjoy it, guys.
Yeah.
And wish me luck in this.
You've got us, darling.
Yeah, you're handling it very well. I think as your friends, as with you, seeing you as a mother, seeing you in this stage of your life is beautiful.
Yeah.
And seeing like your partnership, you know, and how well you work together. I think it's nice because I feel like I've watched it grow.
Yeah.
And to see you at this stage now is like that's the stage where you want to be. Do you know what I mean? Like that should be, well, not for everyone, but everyone's wishes are different. But if that's your end goal, then you know you're there. Like and
I appreciate you saying that because you know what? Even earlier because I was doing my lashes.
Zoom in. No, I'm joking.
We were speaking and I was saying about like relationships and the way that they just like over time they kind of move to a place where it's not all like
honeymoon and
sunshine and rainbow.
definitely not.
No, like we all know like we've all had relationships in our life, like we know the deal. So I feel like we'll probably get into this probably on another episode and deep about it. But
it's a good topic.
Yeah, but navigating that I think is so important. And one thing I would say about where my relationship is now, like my romantic relationship, having my friendship is really important, like with you guys. Because I realize like in my fiance, he can't be everything to me.
And
I think that's been a huge realization for me. Like he can't be everything. So having my friends, I'm like, I have my friends.
It's a separate.
And I need to have my friend. Like
that's healthy though. I think that's very
think so
healthy.
too. Yeah.
I don't think it's good to have like your partner be your be all and end all. Like I think
No.
you both should have your separate lives and stuff.
you need it.
Yeah.
You need it.
Oh,
So
goodness.
And I recently saw something about that as well, talking about like your partner shouldn't be your best of
Everything.
friend.
Yeah, no.
Well, obviously a best friend in a sense, but it shouldn't be the same person who you go to run to about everything. There should be
No,
balance
yeah.
of platonic relationships,
100%.
whether it's your parents, whatever it is. So that is,
Definitely.
yeah, I think I agree with that, to be honest.
And I think that comes, knowing that comes with experience, because I think it's quite common for us as young women to get into relationships, and especially when you get in a relationship and you feel like safe, or you feel like you're experiencing a love that you haven't felt before.
And you're on a vibe.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, well, my friends aren't going to give me this kind of love. So it's very easy for you to just fall into, anyway, we're getting into it, but we're going to cover this on another episode. But yeah, it is an interesting topic.
And it's lovely, like Nis said, about seeing you grow and get to this point. Like,
so lovely.
It's a pinnacle point in your life, and I just think I can't wait for the wedding. Honestly, I need to trim down for this wedding, guys.
I need to trim down.
I need to,
darling.
I mean, I feel look hot. I can't wait.
Brides me as well, if I make it, but yeah.
I think
If you're with me,
Rebecca,
wow.
I think we need to zoom. Are we gonna be?
Yeah, come on. No, I'm not gonna reveal too much. You know, you guys are front runners, okay? Front runners. So,
right?
yeah, like wedding planning is in full mode. But there's been so much going on. I feel like we've all had really interesting things going on in the past few years.
So obviously, on the topic of what you were saying, I think we should address the break that we've taken, and why we decided to come back, and also address why we took that break. And yeah, because I feel like we've all got different perspectives on why.
Yeah. No.
My perspective. No, I'm joking. I do feel like, obviously, from my side of things, I don't know if I should really say this, but like we was all doing the podcast, and we was kind of like working alongside somebody who was kind of like helping us out with like a lot of fronting the costs of things.
Shout out AP, first of all.
He's been amazing.
Shout out AP.
He was amazing for us, and he was like kind of almost like helping us along the way.
Our show daddy.
literally.
Our manager daddy.
Literally. But
Mr. Warbert.
However, like he had to pull away for his own reasons. And I think that was the starting point in us kind of like losing ourselves a bit, because I feel like we were so used to having that support, that organization, everything was booked for us, everything was done. We just had to show up.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of got complacent. And that
Which happens.
yeah. When you get used to things, like it took a lot for us to kind of like I think we kind of fell off. And then I think it kind of like almost subconsciously made us kind of distance as friends, because we weren't seeing each other as much, we weren't communicating. I know that I at the time was a bit upset that we was stopping, because I was really invested. And then like it just kind of you kind of almost have like not bad feelings, but you do kind of feel like a bit like, oh, like, you know, yeah, like I feel like it just got a bit awkward for a moment in time.
It did.
A little bit. Like there was no actual, like no one did anything, but I think we all felt weird about.
I feel like that moment that you're speaking about, like where we stopped doing the podcast, was almost like a nail in the coffin for me, because I felt like before we actually stopped, there were so many things in the run up to that happening to us as a group, to us individually. Like when I think about the 6 months prior to us stopping Down to Mars, we could even say like a year.
Yeah.
Just when I think about my own life and like personal things that was going on, and then I know you guys, it's business in it, so I know what was going on in your lives as well.
Yeah.
There was just so much going on, and it felt like when we had the situation of having to take the podcast back for ourselves, it was almost like
Another.
that's the last straw.
And that's the thing, like you said, like with personal lives, like that has a big part, like to be able to separate, I guess, like business essentially and personal life. When you're doing things with your friends, like you have to be able to stay, like to show up and you know, like take your emotions or whatever you're going through outside of that. And I think that's probably the difference this time round.
I think
I'll let you say what you
I'd say from my perspective, I second what both of you say, to be honest, because I think at the time when it's unexpected, we weren't necessarily prepared, because when we started the podcast, it was us just deciding one day, like, yo, we're gonna do this podcast, whatever. however much it costs, whatever we need to pay for studio, all of those, that someone to record, all of that, we were doing that, and we were good with it. And then this was prior to, when was this? Was this 2019?
Yeah,
End of
started
2019. Yeah. And then obviously in the months that we had just got the podcast rolling, we went into lockdown.
And even just before that, we actually had our own issues with getting it started.
Yeah.
Because it did originally start with us
Four,
three.
there was,
No, it was
oh
us
yeah, there
three.
was 3 of us. Yeah.
Then because of our we are a friendship. We are part of a larger friendship. There was an issue.
People felt like they
then there
wasn't
were
involved.
4. Then there were 4. Then there was another issue, which meant that we were back down to 3.
Down to 3.
So I feel like
we faced our fair share of battles.
there's been adversity, bro. Like there's been adversity.
There definitely has. And then on obviously, as you said, with life, all of us going through our own things. Then we were still pushing through, obviously with the support of AP, that made it a lot more like, I guess, less of a weight on the shoulder, on our shoulders. And then we had consistency, and then boom, it was just like, we didn't know how to navigate not having, I guess, that support anymore. And I can just say for myself at that time, I wasn't in the best headspace.
No.
And a lot of things suffered because of that. And that was obviously, there are many things that contributed to that. But, and I wouldn't say that the podcast was a good thing. Like for me, that was like my therapy. It was like
an outlet.
Yeah, literally. It's like, okay, I look forward to actually going, sitting down, spending time with my friends, and actually just talking about things that really like matter. You know what I mean? And matter to us. So to be in that space. And I'm not the best, I might seem like I can talk about it now, but I'm not the best when I'm in a space like that to be able to talk and to say, like, if you ask me and it's like a one-on-one thing, I probably would share it. I'm not like, but I'm not going to come out right and say, guys, I'm feeling like this. You know what I mean? Maybe I would now, but at the time, that wasn't the place that I was in. So...
Yeah, because I do remember you did go for a phase where you kind of withdrew yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And I noticed it just because, like, we'd be like, oh, come on, let's go here and but then it's like, how I think as well for friends, it's I guess another learning curve, because it's like, how do you just face it head on and like ambush this, but not ambush them, but like almost or do you just leave them to have their moment? Like it was like trying different techniques, because you didn't want to like leave your friend when you know that they're clearly not in the like best of spaces. But then it's also like,
and in hindsight,
you know what I mean? It's tough.
And in hindsight, coming back to and thinking about it, it wasn't only just the fact that she was withdrawn. I think it was just what we normally kind of will get from the rest in terms of her reception and how we weren't getting. So it was just like,
it felt a bit like, oh, have you got an issue at times? Do you know what I mean? Like, because it was like, you just don't know, do you? But anyway, sorry, you was gonna say.
No, I'll let you. No, but what I would say to that, I think, is it's definitely, because I think when you're in a certain space and in a headspace, I was fucking depressed. Let me just say that. I was really not in the best, and there was so many different factors that were contributing to that. Like I was out of work for a long period of time. Then there was a lot of changes, like in my relationship, my home life. So it was like navigating different things. It's like I feel like I can only give myself to so much. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're being pulled this way, you're being pulled that way. And it was the easier thing, probably, not the best thing, but the easier thing was to just kind of detach, which is like what I know best to do, innit? I've done that in the past. So, and I'm not going to expect my friends you can't expect your friends to read like, oh, okay, because this isn't the first time in our friendship that I probably like had a change in like mood or vibe. Do you know what I mean? And you can't always expect your friends to just get it. And I think that's something that I've learned, because at the time I'm thinking, but why are they taking it personal though? Because like, this is nothing to do, it's not about you guys. Do you know what I mean? This is just me. It's literally just, I'm not like, I need to get it together in all aspects. It's like, how can I come and sit on a podcast and like, I guess, present myself in the best way. Not to say that it's not a pretense. This is who we are, but there's a level of, when you're being like outward facing and like people are kind of analyzing you from different, you need to be, for me personally, I wanted to be at a certain, I don't know, a stage. And maybe it could have been a thing where I just come and sat down on the podcast and cried and said, guys, I'm going through it.
But
do you know what I
mean? The learning
mean?
curve is that, like, I think it comes back to us just conversating with each other and actually being honest and vulnerable with each other, because I think, like, I remember feeling at that time like, I want to just show up. Like, I always was that friend that would just, if someone's upset, I would just drive to your house and da-da-da. But then I remember thinking, but people might not want that. Like if they're going through something, like you come in is not necessarily what they might want. You might. So it's like, I think for me at a moment was like, sometimes you have to not force yourself on some people. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I know my friends. I know you guys sometimes want your moment, whereas I'm somebody that like, you can force yourself on me. Like I'm not gonna be annoyed at that. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's just being open and transparent with your friends. And I guess like we said, it comes with, I guess, time and growth and just going through things. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like we would.
And
Go on, Nola.
And sometimes it's undressing the uncomfortable. So like,
Sometimes it is undressing the uncomfortable, because even in that time, I felt like with that whole situation, it felt almost from my perspective like, I feel like Abby similarly, like I'll always show up, and I just felt like for me,
I need someone to show up. For me,
and I didn't feel like, you know, in all the times that I've felt away or felt low or felt whatever, I've always dug deep and showed up for you guys. So even if you felt low or felt whatever, why couldn't you show up for me? Like, and you know what? At the end of the day, that's a big lurning curve for me, because you can't do things expecting everyone to act as you act,
100%.
be as you be, and in that moment in time, you can't decipher that. You can't reason with that. But now, in hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Because in hindsight, I can see everyone wasn't in their best place, and even maybe the way that things were addressed, or the way that it just came to the top, was not the ideal scenario. I don't think it was mad.
It wasn't mad,
but I just feel like it could have been done in a softer way, but maybe from what we was all
when
going
you don't
through.
speak about things though, I feel like it just builds up and builds up, and then you just get to the point where it boiling point. And I think that's kind of what happened.
My perspective, it was just a thing where I have individual relationships with all of you, because at that time I think Lola was already in the mix.
Was she back on the scene?
Because the plan was for Lola at that point was to join. Like she was already gonna join whilst the podcast was up and running.
Yeah, she was. She was.
I remember that.
Yeah, she was.
I remember, because I was thinking, let's go. Like,
she was.
good.
Yeah. But obviously the conversation wasn't just about the podcast. It was about our friendship, innit? Because the dynamic of our friendship had completely shifted, innit? And I think where I was at, I kind of felt like I'm over here just not vibing, but vibing. And then you guys still very much were in that zone, innit? So then I think I was having conversations individually, like one away, but nothing was directly being addressed. And then it just felt like, I think it was like a FaceTime or something, or it was a FaceTime.
It had like a meeting or something.
But the vibe was off.
The vibe was very off, and then
I was just like,
it was just like,
what's going on here?
It was weird.
For me, it just felt like, hold on, is this an ambush? Like what? Like because
which is quite interesting as well.
What'd you say?
The rest of the group weren't really aware of it as well.
Well,
because I think it was more based around like the podcast.
That's fair enough.
So
but that's a good point, because I felt like at that point we didn't have a clear distinction between our friendship and the podcast. It was all one. It was merged.
Yeah.
And that is
saying it can get dangerous.
Yeah.
But then also, I feel like we also, at that very precise moment of time, a lot of us were going through things individually.
Yeah.
Like it was very, like you were going through, you was going through, you were going through what you was going through, you was going through what you was going through.
What was that?
Honey.
Everyone was just kind of in different spaces.
space.
And I think where we're so used to showing up for one another, it was just like we all kind of expected a certain level of reciprocation.
Yeah, like everyone was in their feelings.
Yeah, and rather like you said, having those conversations one away and being direct and just what's going on, which I think we did kind of do in a weird way,
roundabout way.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. I think it just, I don't know.
I think though, from that situation, because obviously at the time it felt like, raw, you lot are
attacking.
Yeah, like I was very much like, whoa, hold on, like where did this come from, innit? But I think after, because I had to kind of look at it like, okay, not just look at you as a collective, but that's difficult because you came at me as a collective. It was like, I'm looking at you like, okay, it's all of you together. But then I had to look at the friendships individually. And then also, as you were saying, like I had to be accountable that there was a lot of things that I had not, because I was in the space that I was in, there was a lot of things that I was not present for in it. And I haven't been, I guess I'm the friend I feel like I've changed a little bit now. I hope so. But throughout the
She
years,
different, okay? She is a new woman. Okay.
throughout the years, though, there's been like a lot of my friends, not just you guys, would probably say that I'm the friend that's not always like, I'm not always going to be in communication. Like, I'm not the friend that's going to reach out all the time. Like, there might be times where we go a little while without seeing each other, and that's just always been my character. But when you're in a close setting like this and you have a different kind of bond, you have to, something that I've had to really make a conscious effort to be more present. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, even if I'm in a certain mood or like because obviously not everything is roses and fairies, innit? Like we're still going to go through shit, not just me, all of us will. But I think it's just how you navigate that. And I think how I navigate that post that situation is a lot different because I would never want to be in a space again where I feel like just because I'm going through what I'm going through, or I wouldn't want that to have just taken over our friendship. And do you know what I mean? Like, and I haven't even given you a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't actually know, okay, well, Narissa's in this space, so I'm going to expect her to be a bit distant or whatever, because there's going to be times where we're all going to have to, we might not be as, you know, there as we usually are. But I think it's more so about, as you said in the beginning, the communication. And I'm not the best with communication, but now I try to be, I hope that I'm a bit better.
You are. And I do think that you do actually like reach out more, not to say that you didn't before, but I mean like I definitely think you do. So I feel like even that, like that situation forced us to have to like share maybe things that we maybe would have just brushed under the carpet or things like that. Like there's things that like I think you have to be, to have a strong friendship, you have to be able to be honest. And otherwise you might have a falling out and then all of a sudden everyone just unleashes these things and it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
And
like what the hell?
And to literally dig deeper, like when things are a bit off, like, all right, pull up. And we are used to it, but I think it was a weird withdrawal this time. And like I said, where everyone was going through things, it's like, listen, yo, I've got my...
But you know what I actually think as well? And the mad thing is, we got to give ourselves a bit of grace because that was like just post-COVID. And I think COVID psychologically was actually like a lot.
I was in the gutter.
Like,
I was in the gutter.
Like,
seriously?
You know, and I think like we underestimated the effects that lockdown had on us.
I didn't underestimate it.
No,
I
underestimated it.
Do you know what it was in that year of lockdown? I think that's probably the worst year of my life. Like anything, every single thing that could have went wrong. Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna come out the other side. Even after, like down to Mars, if you could give about down to Mars, you know what's going on in my day. You know about real life. But seriously, I'm not even laughing. Like, down to Mars, like
it was the smallest on the minuscule.
Because I was figuring out how I was gonna survive. How I was gonna get my child to the next point. You know,
but I give it to you.
Yeah, you did.
You did
had to hold it.
It was almost like a pruning. It was almost like a pruning period for you. Like, because like God was stripping you bare.
Yeah, no, he was taking my
and even as friends though, like supporting you through that when it's like, what can we physically do? But be there for you. Do you know what I mean? Like there was not much.
It's almost like forcing. I felt like I was forcing my hand on you. Like I think I was very intentional during that period because it's like I need to call her every day.
It was scary. I feel like it was actually scary. I feel like I'm very grateful for like all the support at the time, innit? Because I feel like without that, I would have never. I don't think I would have actually mentally been able to recover from the seriousness of what was going on, innit?
Such a change.
But and I feel like lockdown, as we were saying, the essence of lockdown on top of that.
It was crazy.
Lockdown was truly lockdown.
It
was just lockdown.
And then contributing factors were things, you know, in the house and you're just doing bare all heap of different things. We're going to go into it, but it just is even weighing heavier. You're just
different. What kind of different?
The
old
Lola, what was you doing?
We don't know what. Not all bad though. I feel like we came out of lockdown with some skills like LHD, nail tag.
I was speaking about this the other day. Like I give it to Lola. We sat, I remember sitting in her front room, and I don't want to go on too much about this, but we had a conversation. Lola's like, I'm going to do nails. And she's just very much, she's one of them friends that she just like, yeah, I want to do this. And you just think, huh?
I'm going to go to Jamaica tomorrow.
Yeah. But believe me, when she says it, she's doing it. And she did it. And she mastered it. And she has just, and then since then, you've done many other things in life. And you succeed. Everything you say you're going to do, you do. And you do it well. So I give that to you.
God,
But Yeah,
Came out the
well,
other end.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like looking back on lockdown, it just feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
Wait, it was so long ago.
It was, but
It's been how many years? It's been like 3 years since we last filmed a podcast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
and we
literally
did. We
3
did. We
years.
was trying to film. We was trying to get together
Last year.
about a year ago.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what was happening, but it obviously wasn't the right time because it didn't work. And then this time round, when we was discussing it, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a bit. I'll be completely honest. I felt conflicted because I love the podcast. I really wanted to do it, but it just I do. But for me, if I'm being completely honest, I felt a bit like, is this the right time for me in my life? Like I'm a new mom. I'm trying.
Transitioning.
Pardon? I'm transitioning.
yeah, you got a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I made a decision on my
Career.
career to push just my business as opposed to like my normal 9 to 5, which coming to terms with it's a massive like responsibility on your head, like to just when you have a child you can't afford to kind of fumble the bag. You get what I mean? So
100%.
I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me, and I'm somebody that doesn't work great under pressure.
Yeah.
So I felt a bit overwhelmed. Like I really didn't want to miss out on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I thought maybe this isn't the time for me. So I said to the girls, like when we were speaking about it, I said, look guys, I think I'm gonna have to join you guys maybe later on in the year.
But I actually
Yeah.
heard it at the time.
Yeah.
Like, when you were saying it and knowing like what you have on your head, I was thinking to myself, you know what?
It's a lot.
You have to. Oh yeah. You have to wear your arm. Like
You know what I mean?
you've got real responsibility.
Yeah,
in
like I
life,
just feel
innit?
like even on my day to day, guys, like
yeah.
I feel like there's so much going on all the
Yeah.
time, and I just
Yeah.
thought, can I really give the podcast my all?
Yeah.
But then, credit where it was true, we had a Teams call or Zoom or whatever, and they really wanted me here.
Well, girl.
They did. No, I'm joking. No, but they
No,
were like,
we did.
They were like, no, but I think we should try. And I think
Yeah.
that was actually a good moment because even when I spoke to my partner about it, he's like, I feel like you've got capacity. Like,
Yeah.
if you're just doing, you know, how often we're filming and whatever, like, just give it a go. You never know until you try. And so far, I mean, it's our first episode. You might not see me again.
But that's such a new element to filming, like having to think about like your home, like do you know what I mean? Like we all have to we have to check like, okay, what responsibilities like at home do we have?
Yeah.
Like that we can actually come forth and you know.
But also, I feel like as well, and this is a new realm for me, but it's like not to burn yourself out because being a mum, it's like I'm somebody that before motherhood, like I would work to the ground. Like I'd work my 9 to 5, go do lashes until midnight, go wake up and do work again the next day, 5 days a week. I had a Saturday job. Like I was literally like non-stop.
Yeah.
But as a mum, sometimes you need to slow down because you will feel like one, you're not making enough time for your child, or that just your own mental health and your own like you can
For your own sanity,
But I think it's
You
a
know what I
testament
mean?
to your character and your growth as well, because I feel like you stood on what you said.
Yeah.
I don't think, because even being bold, it's not like it wasn't bold, but it is coming out and saying, you know, because I don't think I can do this. And
And in the
this is where I'm
past, I'll
at
be
right
real.
now.
In the past, I've not been one that's ever really missed out on things because I've never liked to. I'll be
Yeah.
completely honest.
Yeah.
FOMO. I don't even know if it was FOMO. No, but I've always like, I've never really missed out on anything because I've always made myself available.
Yeah.
But then I guess when you have changes in life, you have to think like priorities and how can like is it, you know, but
feasible?
luckily
Yeah.
it has been feasible and
Yeah, make it.
I made it, guys.
I'll make it. We're here.
Liz, what was you thinking about coming back to the pods?
Do you know what? It's coming waves. So there was periods where obviously, as you said, we had last year where we was gonna do it.
Like,
we did
yeah.
it last year or the year before. Like yeah, it's
What's
literally
going
been
on?
there's been so many points, and I think it'll be a thing where obviously there's a group of us. So one of us will be super on it, and then like it might not be the perfect time for the other person, and then vice versa. Like, but I think when you haven't done something for such a long time, getting back to it, and obviously it's a financial commitment as well, number one, and at this moment in time, like obviously it's run like a business, but and this is I guess the same for a lot of businesses, you have to put in before you get out, and we're not at the stage yet where we're getting out, so you don't have that incentive to say, okay, well I'm gonna do it because I know I'm gonna make X amount. Do you know what I mean? It has to be a genuine, I'm gonna do it because number one, I get to spend time with my friends, I get to talk about things that I actually am passionate about, and I enjoy it. Like I do enjoy it. So I feel like I didn't actually think we would get to this point here, I'm not gonna lie, because all I've heard for the last however many years is, when's Down to Mars coming back? Are you guys gonna do where's the podcast? What happened to the podcast? Like, I'm not capping, I'll insert receipts. That has been like everyone's question. So for us to be here today, I'm happy. I feel like we're all at a new stage in life, in our
God.
friendships. Yeah, and we can bring different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see where it goes.
Definitely.
What about you?
I feel like, you know
What you thinking?
No. I agree with you a lot because I feel like with the pod, it was always one of those things that just lived in the back of my mind. Like, oh, it would have been sick. Oh, we should have just
Literally.
like for and not just for like superficial reasons, for just the fact that it was a vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I think we
enjoyed it.
stopped at our peak.
No, I don't even think that was our peak
No,
yet. I feel like we had
yeah.
just got into a nice groove.
We can take it to higher heights.
We can't take it top, man. We can't take it. So I feel like in the back of my mind, it was always there living. And I feel like over the years, I've always, away from Down to Mars, been creating content, whether that's like my own content or
Think
through.
16, shut up.
Yep, guys. Make sure you go check it out.
Yeah, like even through Think 16, which is brand new, but also like DJing and radio and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That's I've
yeah.
still tried to like stay creative and stay true to like the things that I enjoy. But deep down in my heart, I always thought like, man,
Word, yeah.
it's not the
Yeah.
same about your friends. Like doing
had a
stuff
link up as well.
singularly
Yeah.
and individually, like you have to do your own things.
Mhm.
You've got your own things going on. You've got your own things going on. And I love to see you guys working and doing your thing, but doing something together as a friendship and being able to make that be fruitful, like that's something I've always strived to have, and I've seen, you know, other people achieve, and I think that we could definitely do that. So yeah, I was very much excited. I was nervous. I didn't think we would get into the studio,
Literally.
but we're here, we're doing it. So I've got great expectations, great hopes, and I just want us to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
see what
We
we can
used
do.
to. Like, that was actually
was
what
fun.
kept us going. Is
Literally something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a bit nostalgic, like being back. Even like the lights and everything.
Yeah,
It takes me
it's
back
like-
to the first episode.
It's on air.
Literally,
It's like,
like,
oh my
it
God.
takes me back. And yeah, I'm just really excited for what's in store for this year and the years to come.
Lolade.
Definitely.
I feel
Lola,
like
what are you
Your
saying?
first filming, girl.
How do you
Sorry,
feel?
Lola's in her, just to FYI, Lola's in her probation period. Right now, so, we're just going to
Let us know your thoughts. So if she should
yeah.
stay or she should go.
Put it in the comments.
Let us know, right?
No, I'm actually quite excited for this podcast. I feel like it's gonna be something different, like something that I see a lot of podcasts, but nothing that really talks about things that we should be talking about, like topics that are very common but don't necessarily get addressed with the right type of, not even content, but the right just opinion, should I say. And I think it's gonna be nice to talk about things that are dear to me as well, bringing insight to things that I like, are personal to me, but also again are challenging things in the community right now. So I think it's going to be good just to rap with my friends and just have fun with it. It's nothing serious. Well, it's serious, but it's just real and raw.
Are you
innit?
ready?
Yeah.
About it, not
I'm
ready.
ready.
I don't think I'm
joking,
ready,
but
no,
you are.
just
You are.
Come on there.
We've got a new perspective. We've got our resident Niger girl.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm
know,
not
it's-
just-
Actually, a Jamaican girl.
I'm
Cut
actually
the cameras. Take me
half
off.
Jamaican, half Nigerian.
No, but I'm
No,
excited.
yeah, me
I
too.
think it's going to be a really
Definitely.
good journey,
Yeah.
a new era.
Yeah.
Down to Mars squared. Is it squared or like
Times
edition-
two,
part two
time-
edition? I don't know.
2024.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But we're here.
And
We're going to
here
be
stay.
consistent, guys.
We are, and I feel like this time around, like I really want to be more engaged with like everybody who supported us, like showed us love.
Definitely.
I feel like that was one of the main sources of joy for me, like seeing how many people could relate and would message me and be like, you know, your friend Abby, like when she said that was all. You see that this girl, fam, you know. So hearing people reach out and be able to actually connect with us and little things, and you
And take
just
from
little,
what we've said.
little
it's like
old
really-
me, like my little old life.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on that note.
Yeah, don't watch my
definitely.
things without.
Yeah. Support, okay?
Just joking. I'm changed.
Well, it feels really, it feels nice. I feel
Yeah.
like, you know, we've set the tone for, we got so much to tell you guys. Like, we're just,
Yeah.
we're just touching
scratching the
you know,
surface.
Scratching the surface, seriously. Like, there's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hope that you can stay with us for the ride.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll put all of our ads should be below. You can follow us, follow our page, and yeah, like, comment, all of that stuff.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
And yeah, be prepared to see more of us this year.